Thanks, Roger. Since Mark just mentioned, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Penny Gros. I'm the principal of Stewart. I was principally before the principal of both Glasgow and Key Middle School as well. So I'm very passionate about this work and working with the populations that I've served at the past 3 schools. Since Mark mentioned HR, I do want to start with that since it's not listed here, that the support that HR has given to Project Momentum schools has really been unprecedented. And what's so difficult, I think, about closing the achievement gap and making changes in schools is that what you need are really talented people. And so it's always a challenge when this district is unable to keep smart, talented people here. And I know that when I look at the Office of School Support, there are incredible people that are working there to really help us. I was able to hire 40 teachers this year, both due to growth at Stewart and due to some turnover, and I could not have done that without HR. I still have a few vacancies, so in fact, I'm driving to Penn State as soon as I finish here to try to get some more teachers for Fairfax County, particularly for special ed. So that has to be considered when you're looking at turning around schools, that you have to get phenomenal teachers and keep them there. Outside of the HR support, I would say the number one thing I would list if I were a principal and I had to have one thing, one support in order to help me turn around a school and turn around student achievement, and that is instructional coaches. There is absolutely no way to do this work without having an instructional coach. And I've been particularly lucky at Stewart. I inherited a coach when I walked in the door who was working with our math department. And this past year, we saw Algebra 1 scores at Stewart, which is, as you know, if a student is taking Algebra 1 in 9th grade, they've probably experienced very little success in math in their entire academic career. And we saw Algebra 1 scores rise over 20 points. And that type of work does not happen without an instructional coach. Teachers are working hard in their building, but you really need somebody, they're in their classroom, but you need someone bringing them together and making sure that our kids get the very best of every single teacher and not just the very best of their own teacher. So instructional coaches are just a tremendous, anytime I hear someone even mention them when the budget comes up, I will definitely get fired up about that because instructional coaches are making a huge difference in our classrooms and helping our teachers with instruction. So that has been huge. Also, some of the extra funding that we get in Project Momentum schools to provide time for teachers to collaborate. As you know, our teachers are really crunched for time. So anytime we can even offer them some hourly pay to come in on a Saturday, to stay late, days where we take entire teams out of their classrooms, we try to minimize that. Our teachers really don't like being out of their classroom, but the payoff that you can get by pulling 8 Algebra 1 teachers from their classroom to really look at data and do the type of analysis you guys were complaining about earlier that you didn't see done, they need that time away from the school to really dig in and do that data analysis and figure out the so what. What are we going to do now? We see where kids have performed and where they're struggling, but what actions are we going to take? So those are the things that really jump out to me, and it really goes back to my time even at Key Middle School. Turning around math achievement there was through the work of an instructional coach. There's obviously a very complex formula for getting student achievement to turn around a building, but for me, I don't know what Jay and Roger are going to say, but for me, that really is one of the driving factors.